With less than 2 weeks to go until the February 8 general elections, PTI's barrister Gohar Khan on Sunday unveiled the party's election manifesto, which promised social and constitutional reforms.
शानदार मुस्तकबिल और खराब माजी से छुटकारा। सोसाइटी ने जो अप एंड डाउन देखे हैं, जितने लोगों को मुख्तलिफ प्रोसेस से गुजारते हुए जिस तरीके से इनजस्टिस का सामना करना पड़ा, इसलिए अवामी आवाज का तकाजा है कि एक ट्रुथ एंड रिकंसिलिएशन कमीशन कायम किया जाए। पाकिस्तान तहरीक इंसाफ अगर पावर में आती है और इंशाल्लाह आएगी, तो हम ट्रुथ एंड रिकंसिलिएशन कमीशन बनाएंगे जो इन सारी बातों के तह तक इंशाल्लाह ताला जाएगा।
The manifesto was announced as the party carried out election campaigns across the country, alleging that authorities were preventing party-backed candidates from doing so. The PTI leader said the manifesto also promises a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to address the injustices faced by the common man.
हर सोसाइटी में इनजस्टिस का तदारुक होना चाहिए। हर सोसाइटी में आगे बढ़ने के लिए एक रास्ता होना चाहिए। अवाम, मुल्क, जमहूरियत, इस मुल्क की इकानमी की खातिर हमने आगे बढ़ना है। इसलिए हम ये कहेंगे कि जस्टिस और इक्वल के लिए हम ये एक कमीशन बनाएंगे जिसके की कंसर्न जितने भी डिस्पैरिटीज है उनको एड्रेस किया जाए।
In India's quest to distance itself from its primary source of weapons, Russia, due to disruptions caused by the Ukraine war, the nation must treat carefully to avoid strengthening ties between Moscow and Beijing. This was revealed in a Reuters report quoting anonymous Indian sources. This shift aims to reduce India's traditional reliance on Russia, which has supplied 65% of India's weapons purchases, exceeding $60 billion over the last 2 decades. Despite Moscow's offers, India is reluctant to sign major military deals with Russia, as it could be a red line for Washington. Indian government sources speaking anonymously revealed to Reuters that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is prioritizing domestic production with Western technology aligning with his Make in India initiative. Last year, India and the US signed a historic deal for General Electric to produce engines in India for its fighter jets, marking a significant shift in defense ties. The strained relationship between India and China, particularly along their Himalayan frontier, further propels India towards the United States. While India moves away from Russia in the defense sector, severing ties completely could push Moscow closer to Beijing, impacting India's geopolitical interests. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's recent push for more defense deals underscores the complexity of India-Russia relationships. Despite strong economic ties, discussions on defense cooperation have seen limited progress with delays and hiccups in existing agreements. United Nations officials and aid groups are sounding the alarm as funding for the UN Refugee Agency for Palestinians faces a pause from at least 9 countries, including major donors like the United States and Germany. The halt in funding comes in the wake of Israeli allegations linking some agency staff to the deadly Hamas attacks on October 7. The attacks led to a suspension of contributions jeopardizing life-saving aid for approximately 2 million people in Gaza. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, while expressing a dissenting of concerns, urged governments to reconsider their funding decisions. Emphasizing the critical need to sustain UNRWA's operations, Guterres pledged accountability for any UN employee involved in acts of terror. UNRWA Commissioner General Philippe Lazzarini joined the call, appealing to countries to reconsider before the agency is compelled to suspend its humanitarian response. The situation in Gaza is dire, with over 26,000 casualties in Israel's military campaign against Hamas. Aid flows, including essential items like food and medicine, have dwindled, increasing the risk of preventable diseases and famine. More than 1 million people seeking shelter from Israeli bombardments rely on UNRWA's assistance, and Palestinians have expressed frustration and anger at the funding cuts. The urgent plea is to safeguard the continuity of life-saving aid for the vulnerable population in Gaza.